Hello, welcome back to my sewing room for the first time in a very long time. I just want to start this video off by saying sorry, Haley. Yeah. This video was supposed to be in collaboration with Haley from Haley Marie Vintage, where we both sew garments using the same fabric. I bought a bolt of this fabric when Haley and Stephanie Cannon and I met up in South Carolina to go visit this old vintage dressmaking factory and fabric shop that hadn't been touched in 50 years or something like that. I will link that video if you hadn't seen it. But yes, so we were supposed to put these videos out in collaboration, and I want to say she got hers out 3 weeks ago. I will leave a link for that in the description box. I have been consistently under the weather for a month now. I'm sure you can still hear it in my voice, but I am on the mend. And so I'm looking forward to lots of fall makes and really getting back into sewing as I have kind of stepped away for over a month now. And so, sorry, Haley. I really do like my finished garment, and I hope you guys like the video. If you haven't already, then subscribe. If you like the video, and I'll see you at the end. The pattern I chose for this make is a 1950s advance. It is 7901, and it is a simple half circle skirt. It consists of 3 pieces in the envelope, a front, a back, and a waistband, and I thought that would be easy enough and that I would be able to use up the remaining fabric that I had, as I didn't want any of it to go to waste. And so that's what you see me doing, is prepping the pattern pieces. I'm going to now iron out the wrinkles gently with no steam on the iron. So I laid out my pre-washed fabric and got out these pattern pieces that were a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. And I had a lot less fabric remaining than I thought I was going to have. As I showed you in my last sewing plan video, that I had attempted to make a house coat out of this fabric originally. And I did that like almost as soon as we returned from the trip. And I just wasn't happy with the filming of it. And at this point, all it needs is just some finishing work. But I deleted all of the footage. But I do hope to get that finished, just to have to wear around the house as we approach these winter months. The skirt process is moving right along. We now have a front and a back being pinned together. Getting these 4 simple panels to the sewing machine was pretty easy. As I said, it's 3 pattern pieces, a front, a back, and the waistband. So you cut the front piece out twice and the back piece out twice, and then you seam them together at the front, center, back, at the side, and the other side will have a zipper. And I just really started doubting myself, and if that is sufficient for an entire video to just make a 4-paneled skirt. And usually in those kind of times when I'm doing rather simple projects, I'm able to sort of have a theme or a purpose of the video, a message that I'm trying to say, or something that was on my mind or heart at the time. And during this time, I was just so sick, and I recently started a volunteer job that then led into a full-time job. And so I've been working outside of my home for the first time in 4 years. I am traveling a lot for work, and through all of it, I was sick. And so I was just really uninspired, really down, and I put this project down, and I put it down for a while. And not even just this project, all of the projects, the works in progress that I have, none of them have been touched. And so that's been a little disheartening. And so I'm happy to be sitting here and editing this video right now, because I know once I get back into the flow, I'll get back into sewing, which is literally my therapy, and it is something that I need for me, and especially when things are chaotic. So we have to remember to find the time for the things that matter to us, the things that keep us sane when there's a lot going on. So expect a lot of fall things now that I have a little bit more of a grip on my life and my kids and my job, and I'm getting over this horrible sickness that I had. And so things will be moving along. I hope you stick around and bear with me, and let me know your thoughts on any of these things in the comments. So now I have the zipper put in. The next thing I'm going to do is attach this waistband that I have interfaced, and then hem the bottom, and the skirt is done. So if I remember correctly, getting this zipper pinned in place was one of the steps where I then stopped for about a week before I stitched it on. And then the same goes for the waistband. It sat pinned to the skirt for about a week before I stitched it on. But once I did that, I started feeling inspired again, and like I wanted to be true to my word to Haley and redeem myself for being so late on this deadline, which she has been so kind and so just like so easygoing about. But I'm a firm believer in when you say you're going to do something at a certain time, you do it. And so it was definitely hard on me to disappoint her, even though I know she's very supportive of me. So when I finally got that waistband attached, it was at that point that I decided that we cannot put out a video for just a 4-panel skirt. We are going to make a blouse, be it a very simple blouse that also only consists of 3 pieces. It is a blouse none the least. So, this is the blouse. It is a vintage reproduction from Lady Marlowe. I'm just going to get right to it. I do love that the patterns come printed on this really thick paper. And those are our 3 pieces that we will now cut out. Once I got the 3 pattern pieces separated from themselves on that really thick paper, I was able to lay them out, and I realized I did not have as much of this fabric as I thought I did. I had enough for the front piece, and you will see later that the back of the shirt is actually cut out of a different fabric. It's also a vintage fabric and a fabric that I purchased on that shopping trip, so it feels like from the same manufacturer or the same lot or something, because it coordinates very well and they feel so similar. And I ended up loving that part of this blouse, so I hope you do too when you see it. So this blouse did have a few tricky bits with it. By it being gathered at the shoulder, it was going to need pleats or tucks or darts or all 3. I can't remember, but it was a little weird shaping the blouse, and the way the darts are at the waist wasn't something I was completely used to. No, it was something I hadn't done before at all. And so, yeah, it was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So once again, I got held up, but I transferred all the markings and the darts the best as I could, as they were shaped a lot different from what I'm used to seeing, which I'm sure is why the blouse fits the way that it does. So I'm sure it's very necessary, but just getting all of that transferred correctly was a little bit of a job, especially more than I was expecting when we're talking about a top that is 3 pieces and no sleeves. So a little bit more complicated than I signed up for, but I was definitely happy with the finished garment. So once I finally got all of the markings transferred from the front piece as best as I could, I proceeded with getting them pinned in place, and then we took this thing to the sewing machine. Here is the back piece. I had to use just some of the blue that I had because I ran out of this fabric. This is the front piece. I have the darts put in. I have the shoulder gathers put in the best of my ability. And so now I just got to get the darts pinned in place here and then the pleat there. And I don't think there's too much left to complete on this. And so these darts were shaped really weird. I had a bit of a time transferring those, but got it done. And so now I'm going to get this stitched at the sewing machine. Now I'm going to stitch it together at the shoulder seam, and then one side will get seamed, one side left open for a zipper. This fold back line, I'm not really sure what happened with it just yet, but we do have armhole facing pieces that I've cut out. So not a lot left to get this done. I'm just kind of over it, but hopefully it comes out really cute. Once I got that cute purple side zipper inserted into the blouse, it was complete. And I am very, very, very happy with it. I love the one shoulder. I love that the back is in a completely different fabric, even though that was a very happy accident. I love the way the skirt moves. I love the shoes that I paired with it. I'm really, really happy that I stuck it out. I'm sad that it took me so long to complete and that I got so away from sewing. Ooh, look at this one shoulder. Those details are really, really nice and I really love them. I love this. I'm glad I finished it. I would like some advice on what you guys do when you're feeling just really uninspired or not happy with the current project that stops you from pursuing other projects, or just how you make time for it all. If you could leave that in the comments, I would be very, very happy. Make sure you go and check out Haley's video where she makes a dress using the very same fabric. Check out the video from the trip when we bought the fabric. And don't click off yet because there's some announcements at the end. Oh, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so when I do post a video, you'll know. Oh, and one more thing. Do not attack my boobs in the comments. I didn't need a full bust adjustment for this. I just needed a better bra. I didn't have a one shoulder one. So I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked being back in the sewing room. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. I do have some fall things planned that I hope to get to. I understand at this point I never get to all of my plans, but I hope to get to at least a couple of them. I do want to get into a Halloween make, and I have a sewing haul video coming up soon, because even though I hadn't been sewing through this time, I was still purchasing things. So stay tuned for that. Again, thank you for being here. I hope you all are well, and I will see you in my next video that is soon and sure to come.